this government and particularly Prime Minister Modi gets. We are an aspirational government. We are a hungry government. Hungry as in not in the belly, but hungry for more. As they say in Hindi, ye dil mange more. और दिल जितना ज़्यादा मांगेगा उतनी ज़्यादा मेहनत करेगा. The more you desire, the more you work hard for meeting those aspirations, those goals. And I think it's very fair to say that we have miles to go before we sleep. And I would think till the last breath of every human being, that should be the spirit. My late father, even after being detected with cancer, insisted that he will go to the factory every single day until probably the last 3 or 4, 5 days. And that kept him going, maybe added a few years to his life. So I think for all of us, we do not believe in resting at all. We believe that this is an opportunity to serve, to do more. And I can clearly tell you, we welcome criticism, we welcome new ideas, we welcome out-of-the-box thinking, and we'll continue to persevere, continue to challenge our own abilities, continue to challenge the ability of every single colleague to be able to get the best out of 1.4 billion Indians.
The FDI question.
Well, I think it's elementary, my dear Watson, is what I would have said. But since probably you want to get the technical
You just gave me the critics' license, so I said
we
you're giving it to everybody.
We are all conscious that interest rates across the world have shot up dramatically. The United States, where Zareen Daruwala would tell us, you could probably see the Fed at what, 0.5% or 0.75%, 1%, went right up to 5%. And clearly, you saw the impact of flight of capital moving back to the developed nations. That was a period where one would have imagined a much deeper impact on the developing economies than what India witnessed. But the strength of demand in India, the strength of opportunities that people saw in India ensured that we didn't see the drastic fall that many of our other peer countries saw. The fact that we continued to have significant FDI coming in, the fact that a lot of reinvestment of earnings happened even during this period, when ideally I would have thought global balance sheets were very stressed and would have been looking to pull back every dollar they could from India. We continued to see traction, we continued to see money coming in. We may not have achieved the amount we did in 22, 23, but I would think that that's not the material factor at all. The material factor is that it continues to come in, and very often when you see a very rapid growth on any statistic, you need some time for it to cool down also. A very continuous and rapid growth of money flow, liquidity, sometimes is very harmful for an economy also. So I think India has been able to create a very fine balance in our control of inflation. When countries saw 40-year highs of inflation, India is seeing 40-year lows of inflation. Our average decadal inflation over the last 10 years of Modi government has been the lowest India has ever seen in its history. And way back in 1970s, we went right up to 30%. 2012, 13, many of us will recall double-digit inflation. Mr. Modi is the first Prime Minister who mandated the Reserve Bank to make inflation control as their duty, their primary duty. And apart from mandating them, we aligned both fiscal and monetary policy to work in tandem with the Reserve Bank rather than fighting with the central bank. So I think it's been a beautiful journey, a journey of political stability, a journey where we've made India fiscally strong, a journey where the macroeconomic fundamentals of India are better than ever before. In fact, the white paper gives out a lot of deep insights into what we inherited and how we've taken the country forward. I'll just focus on one thing since you've spoken about FDI. Many people tend to forget that August 2013, the Indian rupee had depreciated to nearly 68 rupees to a dollar. I'm talking August 2013. what did the then government, led by a so-called brilliant economist who studied at Harvard, unlike my Prime Minister who believes in hard work, and the economists could only come up with raising debt. We came out with a FCNRB policy to attract Indians, NRIs, to invest in India. We gave them almost 1.75 or 2% more than the market. We allowed NRI Indians to play the game of putting in 5 or 10% money of their own, borrow the rest from international banks, allowed them the arbitrage to have abnormal returns on small money, and artificially improved the rupee strength to make it about 57 rupees to a dollar. Now that 10 rupee improvement was on the strength of a debt that we took on the balance sheet, inherited by the Modi government, repaid along with the high interest by Mr. Modi and the present government. But on the calculation sheet, it may look as if the rupee has depreciated from 57 to, say, 83 in the Modi government. The reality is the depreciation is from 68 to 83, which is barely 1% and a quarter on a CAGR basis. I think this has been a period of tremendous fiscal stability, and today's fundamentals of the economy will hold us in good stead in the Amrit Kal to give us a good level of growth, probably a double-digit nominal US dollar GDP growth, help us bridge the purchasing power parity potential that we already have in the country, and become a $35 trillion economy, a Viksit Bharat, a developed and prosperous India at 2047.